My 27 male wife 32 female thinks I'm selfish because I used all of our combined stimulus check money to pay for her college debt. Was I out of line? So I'm hoping that others who have more expertise with this kind of stuff can provide me with some guidance. 3 years have passed since I married Sharon, although we had been dating for 3 years before to that. When I met Sharon, when I was a senior in college, she was working at a bookshop that I visited often, and we became fast friends. We have a 1.5-year-old daughter named Lily that we have together. Sharon is a stay-at-home parent, while I work as an engineer. Sharon had been working at the bookshop since she was 22 years old, and she had been pregnant when Lily was born. The only actual long-term relationship I've ever been in, apart from harmless short-term middle school and high school romances, is with Sharon. She is also the only partner that I've ever had, and it is a truth that I do not regret. Sharon isn't forthcoming with information about her previous lovers, but from what I've gathered over the years, she's had a number of long-term relationships and a great deal of experience overall. It's partly because she's 5 years older than me, but it's also because I'm more of a timid introvert and she's more of a social butterfly, which makes sense given our personalities. In any event, I've always been aware during our dating relationship that Sharon had previously attended college with the intention of receiving a degree in sociology, but had dropped out in the midst of her junior year due to the loss of her father. Sharon's father had apparently abandoned her mother in a less-than-ideal financial condition, and she was forced to take a job in order to assist her mother with some household expenses. Sharon's mother was eventually able to regain her financial footing, thanks to the fact that she was still young enough to work. She was only 59 at the time, and the assistance of other relatives. While this was going on, Sharon had fallen into disrepute at her college and was unable to simply reapply to the institution with any realistic expectation of getting accepted as a result. This was something I was aware of. The fact that Sharon had defaulted on a nearly 6-figure student loan was something I didn't find out until well after we were engaged. She later informed me about it when I saw collection papers from the lending bank posted outside our shared apartment building where we were staying. She informed me that she did not believe she should be required to pay back the loan since she did not have a degree to show for it. I attempted to explain to her that the bank didn't care how she felt about it, and that they would pursue her for the rest of her life in order to recover their money, and that they may have her earnings garnished or her spouse's income garnished if she didn't pay the bills. She assured me that she understood, and that she also understood if I saw this as a reason to put off our wedding. Well, I like Sharon, so of course I want to assist my fiancé/wife, and because I had a solid work now, I was making around $60K a year, which was a nice salary for me at the time. We were able to create a budget that would allow us to get out of debt as quickly as possible. I inquired as to whether she knew what I was referring to. Limiting our dining out, limiting our luxury purchasing, maintaining a budget, and so on. It's true that, because to the arrangement we reached with her loan business, her monthly payment isn't even that awful. My paycheck can cover everything, and we still have more than enough money left over for food, rent, and all of the other necessities of life. We even have a few $100s free and clear every month, after I put a significant amount of money into savings, that we can use to treat ourselves to a few pleasures once in a while, in the event that we ever have more funds available. For example, if I get a raise at work or receive a bonus, for example, Sharon and I have both agreed that we would apply all of the funds to her debt in order to get it paid off even quicker. Every month, Sharon and I make a list of necessities, the majority of which are for Lily, such as a jogging stroller, new outfits, and so on, and we rank them in order of necessity and priority on the list. Sharon will, without a doubt, get all of the desires she has written down. The most of the time, I don't really write anything for myself since, as long as I have food and am healthy, I'm okay as long as my wife and child are pleased as well. So, let's fast forward to the recent past, shall we? My wife and I just got our government stimulus check, which consisted of a few $100s for myself and my wife, and a few $100s for the kid. Automatically, the funds were deposited into my bank account. My paycheck is placed into one primary account, which is the way the budget is set up in our household. I redirect a significant amount of the funds to another account to which both my wife and I have access. This is the luxury account. Sharon has connected this account to her own, independent checking account, allowing her to move money into it whenever she pleases. Despite the fact that I have equal access to the luxury account, in all actuality, I basically consider this to be Sharon's money, and I couldn't care less about how she spends it as long as she's happy with it. Everything is paid out of my account, including the rent and utilities, as well as the phone and internet service, Wi-Fi, streaming services, medical co-pays, food, and the large student loan payment, among other things. Sharon has a full view of all of the invoices. For food, we normally set aside a specific amount every week, which I just give to Sharon in cash since she is the one who does the shopping. She is aware of how much I earn on a weekly basis since the printed paycheck stub is delivered to us after the direct deposit is completed. Additionally, she is aware that once all of my expenses have been paid and the money has been sent to the luxury account, I will have around $150 left in my account, which equates to approximately $5 a day. Some days I squander the $5 on lunch at the workplace, but most of the time I pack my own lunch and save the money. I have 3 beautiful suits, though I have a lot more dress shirts that I've been nursing for 4 years now, and I alternate them throughout the week. I'll finally save up enough money to buy a 4th costume. When I received the stimulus payment, I immediately glanced at the list. We had already purchased new shoes for our child, new jeans, a jumping swing, and Sharon had already purchased yoga pants and some kind of hair band thing that puffs up your hair when you put it in your hair. I applied all of the funds to Sharon's outstanding loan sum and didn't worry about it again. Sharon inquired about the stimulus payment a few days ago when the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, sent us a letter informing us that we had been awarded money for the 3 members of our family who qualified. I responded affirmatively, and I used the money to pay off my college debt. Sharon became enraged, not shouting, screaming, enraged, but quiet, gloomy enraged, and she later said that it was incredibly selfish of me not to inform her of the money's existence. I had no idea I was being selfish since all I did was contribute whatever additional money I had in a non-crisis circumstance to her school debt, just as we had agreed. I was unaware of my actions. I also reminded her that she was still entitled to all of the money in our luxury account, which she could spend for anything she pleased, and that I did not have access to any of it. I wasn't trying to be a martyr or behave in a jerkish manner, but I gently reminded her that I never purchased anything for myself and that the money the IRS gave to me was also used to pay her credit card payment. I also reminded her that we are meeting our monthly savings targets and that we are on pace, and that the sooner we are able to pay off our loan total, the better off we would be financially. Sharon claims that the stimulus payout is an exceptional circumstance and that she would have preferred to use the money to treat herself to something nice instead of saving it. I inquired as to if she had anything specific in mind, since everything on her wish list had already been acquired, even big-ticket items, such as a Peloton bike, we eventually got for her after a few months of steady saving. When she declined, I offered to simply pay the IRS payment for her portion of the debt, but I informed her that my own account did not have enough funds to pay her in one lump sum after I had paid all of the bills. She accepted the offer, but I informed her that she would have to pay the IRS payment in installments because my own account did not have enough funds to pay her in one lump sum after I had paid all of the bills. She stated it didn't matter since I'd proved myself to be self-centered and unwilling to give. My parents have different perspectives on the situation. My mother believes I should have taken all of the money and given it to my wife, blown my share on a lawsuit, and either put the baby's share in the baby's account. We already have a college fund for her. Whereas my father believes I did the right thing by attempting to get out of debt as quickly as possible. Sharon's mother agreed that my father was correct, so I questioned her. Meanwhile, Sharon typically wants it at least 4 times a week, but we haven't had any at all for the last week. She will be able to get over. Is it possible that I made a mistake here? I was under the impression that I was behaving in the best interests of my family. I'm looking forward to hearing your perspectives on the subject, gentlemen.